yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Um, for today, I'm pissed off about a couple things. I thought I'd make a video about this. As you can see by the title, it's it's called the Ultimate Rage Rant, and now I'm probably going to be pretty angry in this video. So probably get ready for some cursing and a lot of piss offness. So if you don't like this, because I don't care. Okay, now. First off. So let me see here. A lot of stuff in our modern day, or fuck modern day. I said I hate that word. Damn, you started commercial. In 21st century, people call it modern day or idiots. Obviously, you don't know what 21st century is. Obviously, don't know what a century is. Probably even doesn't know what a millennium is. Yeah. Anyway, you get my point. There's a lot of shit that I get pissed off about in the modern 21st century. More than ever. And it's starting off with these major industrial companies that make too much money off the shit, man. The three main companies that everybody gets upset with and everybody gets sick on are and everybody causing problems and issues. Don't look toward those companies, blame it on the people. Say they're crazy. Say they're, unstable. Say they shoot up schools. Blah 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 blah. Blame it on video games. Blah 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 blah. But they don't look at the real picture. See, these three companies. Let's think about it. The medical industry. They're making billions of dollars off pharmaceutical drugs. Every day. And we don't even know what's in them. We don't even know what's in those drugs. They don't tell you on TV, because it's a business. People are popping pills right and left every day as far as pharmaceutical industry. And you see all the time people in the hospital, people that you hear all the time, people get some kind of disease. People are, suffering from cancer, blah yada yada yada, all this shit. GMOs in our foods, man. Shit. I don't know what to say. Being able to go buy over-the-counter drugs, basically telling people it's okay to pop pills, like they're like candy. Like it's like reaching into a candy machine and pulling out whatever you want, and all of a sudden you're just eating pills like candy, and that's just ridiculous, man. We don't even know what's in those pills, and we don't even know what's doing to our immune system in our bodies. We don't even know what it's causing the issues, man. I believe that pills have a lot. I believe that some of these medicines have a lot to do with making people sick and making them worse. And that's why there's cancer. That's why there's all this shit, man. The psychiatric industry. So you're telling me that because a young child, runs around, runs around like a normal person, is kind of a little bit, you know, wild and crazy. You know, said some things that they're obviously crazy. I mean, they obviously have something wrong with their brains, or they're psychologically unstable, or you know, they're messed up. So we give them a pill, and you don't know what that does. You know, that can hurt your brain, your emotions, and everything can just be put in check. I've read a fucking research article on how psychiatric drugs can numb down the receptors in the brain, and it can also and how it can also affect people's serotonin and everything. Serotonin is a big factor that really helps the brain, and it can really hurt it with those kind of drugs. People who take these psychiatric drugs, they have no emotions, they have no feelings. Those are actually dumbed down. They're gone. They don't feel anything. They go into a state of almost complete. They go into a state of almost where they act like they're not even human, you know, and they're kind of, you know, a form of shell. They kind of act like a shell, you know. They're like in a shell. They act weird. They don't show any emotion. They don't show any concern for anything, you know. They change, man. They get depressed. This kind of shit does a lot of things, man. And you got these doctors, man, prescribing all these drugs to people, especially young kids, you know, telling them there's something, because they do all these things, you know. They're obviously, you know, have something wrong with them, and they need to come up with some kind of sort of bullshit response, you know, to make money by telling them this is what their child is, or this is what they do, or this is what they have, but fucking bullshit, yada yada yada, you know. They give them a drug to suppress those emotions. So now you don't feel anything, and you become basically like a robot. You become just the complete opposite of what you were. Those drugs change people, man. And I read somewhere that drugs don't. The news always blames shootings on video games, but what they don't look is that I heard that Ritalin and all these sorts of drugs, man, they change people. They make them go crazy. They make them go insane. They can do bad things to people, man, and make them do things that they don't normally do. The recent drug, what the fucking recent psychological drug on the market is, I don't remember. And it's got these psychologists, psychiatrists, and everything prescribing medicine has nothing to do with the brain, man. They're trying to suppress, you know, normal everyday activity, you know, in a young child, you know, and a person who's just trying to, you know, enjoy themselves, you know, and be a kid, you know. And they're trying to ruin that, and trying to take away the emotional feeling, trying to take away the, you know, the overall factor of what it is to be a human, you know, and I don't like that. You see, this is what these drugs are doing to people. They're making them less human, and they're dumbing down. Like I said, they're dumbing down their receptors. They're making them less. They're taking away emotions. They're doing a bunch of things to their brain that doesn't need to be done to it. Basically, they're reprogramming their mind, which is not good, and it's a bad thing. Um, it's a bad thing, man. So basically, these drugs are telling people of that age to, you know, listen to everything the government tells you. Listen to everything you're told. You know, believe everything you're told. You know, don't question anything. Don't use your real brain. Don't um find the truth. Don't think for yourself. You know, obey authority 24/7. Do not question anything, even if it's wrong. Do not say no. Do not do anything. Just sit there, be still, be quiet, shut up, and pay attention. That's what that means, man. That's what that means in a nutshell. Psychological drugs. That's what they do to people. They just completely change their thought perception. They mess up their brain. They just take away emotions, receptors, and they make it to where people can't. They make it to where these people can't. Um, they don't question anything, man, because they're 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 ne their neocortex, or you know, the part of the brain that is used for thinking, just goes away with all these psychological drugs, man. And you don't begin to question anything, man, anymore. It's almost like you just aren't human, you know? These drugs just change you. Psychological drugs are dangerous. They're not good for you. These psychiatrists, these psychologists, they're diving into shit that doesn't need to be diving into. They only need to be involved in people who are actually having psychological problems, but people that actually have people that actually have disabilities, physical disabilities, they give them a pill, they give them a psychological pill, when clearly they don't even know what's going on. They think it's all in their head. They think they're crazy, you know. They think something's wrong with them, and it's not good, man. It's not good, and it's fucking ridiculous. I'm pissed off. I'm mad. Because you don't give somebody who is struggling with a physical disability, you don't give them psychiatric medication. They're not crazy, and they're definitely not, you know, mentally unstable. They have a problem, they have a physical disability, you know? But you don't give that to people, you don't give medicine to people who have physical disabilities, you don't give them psychiatric drugs. You don't know what you're doing, man. You don't know what you're diving into. You're dabbling in shit you don't need to be dabbling into. It's bad, man. And I think that's why all these things are happening to people. That's why autism is happening. That's why all this shit is happening, man. That's why there's so many disabilities nowadays, because people are diving into medicine, they're mixing medicine, they're doing all sorts of shit they don't need to get into, and the psychiatric drug industry is making millions of dollars off of shit. They don't even know what they're doing, man. It's all about money. It's all about the way to make money. They don't care if it destroys people's minds. They don't care if it changes people. They don't care if it makes things worse. It's just a way to make more money for people. Fucking joke. It's a fucking joke how the drug industry is, man. Especially the psychiatric industry and the medical industry. And cancer and everything it's not even, and cancer research, they don't even need to do cancer research, because see, they got the cure. They've got the cure right there, man. They can give it to people, but they're not. Because they're making too much fucking money off this shit, man. And it's not. And it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, man. I've never seen so many drugs in my lifetime than I have in recent years. There has been so many drugs. There's every drug of any kind you can get nowadays. Um, Seriously, these industries, they don't care if they mess up your body. They don't care if they mess up your mind. They don't care if you mess up anything. You know, they don't care if they destroy you and completely make you a whole different person of who you were. As long as they make their money and they make their profit, they don't give a shit. And that's why the cancer's on the rise. That's why all this shit is on the rise. That's why people are getting more sick by the day. And that's why so many disabilities happen, because they dive into shit they don't need to dive into, and mix medicines and do all this shit and think they know what they're talking about. And they, you know, they mess with the mind when clearly they don't need to, because, you know, they mess with stuff they don't need to mess with, you know. And the and they do shit they don't need to be involved in, man. So that's why people change. People get worse. Because the medicines, they put different medicines to different people, man, and they don't know what they're doing. The government doesn't care about us. They would rather do whatever the hell they want, you know. They'd rather put puppets in the White House, you know, do all that shit. You know, do all that shit, you know. Act like they're really involved, but they're really not. Who's really involved is the higher elites up that work in the White House and Congress and, you know, fucking U.S. Treasury and everything else. The people that run the economy and run the banks and everything and run everything, they're in charge, man. The Freemasons, the Illuminati, man, they run this shit. They run everything. They control people. They mind control them. They put them under MK Ultra, man. We're $20 trillion in debt, and that's never gonna change, you know, because all they're focusing on now is a World War III, a racial war, you know, spreading, telling people it's okay to be gay and promoting transgender and all that bullshit, man. Just, presenting fake news to people, you know, using crisis actors for mass shootings, to promote gun control and taking away our guns, while they're setting up for a World War III in Syria. How the government controls our weather with mass weapon control, you know, with weaponized weather. That's why all these hurricanes have happened, in like Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Ike, Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Nate's gonna be hitting New Orleans. That's why there was a flood in Harvey. That's why a flood in Houston. the fucking fires in Los Angeles, man. It's man, it's happening, man. It's happening day by day. The Freemasons and everything. This new world order elite, man, wants to control everybody. They want to turn our world into a complete disaster. They want to make everybody scared. They want to bring in martial law, and they want to completely just have complete control over everybody. And they want to shut us down. They want us to be dumbed down. They want us to be stupid. They don't want us to know what's going on. And they want to control us. They want to mind control us. They want us to follow everything. So they're using drugs to change us. Pretty soon, if we let this keep happening, we're all going to end up becoming former versions of ourselves. We're going to end up becoming clones. We might end up becoming robots in the future. We might be reprogrammed, and we might have eventually it's just gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad if we don't take action, because it's becoming bad, man. There are so many hurricanes now happening every day, so much destruction in the world, so many mass shootings, so much stuff put on by the government, and people don't understand it, and they think it happened with they think all this shit went on with ISIS and Al Qaeda, and no, man, no, it was put on. It's put on by the motherfucking people that were behind the covert operations of the government, like the CIA, the FBI, the SEALs, U.S. intelligence, man. You gotta understand, man. This shit is real, and this shit is real. They do want to bring in martial law. They do want to control us. They do want to take away our guns. They are making fake news. They are staging mass shootings. They are doing false flags. And they are doing false flags. They are doing they are doing hoaxes. They are using crisis actors. They are rigging and scripting shit. They are they're bringing in the new world order, or it is what is or I think the Bible calls it the fifth age. It's called the Age of Aquarius. And yes, it's bad. And we are entering a time where we need to realize what's really going on. And this is bad. And yeah, man, they want complete control. Pretty soon, if we let it keep happening, we're going to become former versions of ourselves, man. We're going to be taken away, we're going to be brainwashed, we're going to be cloned, and we're going to be turned into robots and made to obey everything that we're supposed to be told. No longer be able to speak what we no longer be able to say what we want to say. We'll no longer be able to do what we're going to do, and we'll no longer have freedom anymore. And they're going to take away our rights. They already have taken away half of our rights. They've taken away half of our freedom of speech. Fucking SJWs and you know, feminists who always get so mad at people who, you know, do all this shit, man. All this shit is being pushed. All this new agenda is being pushed. What we as a society have come to accept everything that we hear, everything that pushed toward us, and everything that we will ever believe, man. But we need to wake up. We need to realize that what we've heard is not true. 9/11. 9/11. The SEAL team, the Operation Geronimo, SEAL Team 6, and Paris, the Colorado shooting, the Sandy Hook and everything else, and the Boston bomb were all put on by the government. It was a form of terror and distraction. It's a form of trying to scare people, man. Scare people into obeying. It's all about obeying, Because the government doesn't want people to have free speech. They want they want to own, they want to control people. And they can do it through this. People still believe it. Some people still believe what they hear on the news. And we've learned to accept everything, man. We've learned to accept the greedy ass business practices. We learned to accept that we learned to accept all society's trends. We've learned to follow society. We learned to do everything society does. We don't want to be ourselves anymore, man. We want to do what the government tells us to do. We want to follow everything we hear on TV. We want to be sheep to a business. We want to be sheep to a company. We want to be sheep to a product. We want to be under control. We want to be, we want to follow that. We want to, what's the word? We want to be just like everybody else, man. And people need to learn to separate from that, man. We learn to accept inferior products when, we learn to accept inferior products in the gaming community where, where we have to pay $60 for, online on PlayStation 4 and $50, I believe, on Xbox One, when you can get free online on PC. We've learned to accept inferior quality on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. We've learned to accept having a majority of our games running at 30 frames per second at 1080p, when we can get games running at all 60 on PC and 1080p. We've learned to accept the same shit over and over. Nobody wants innovation. Nobody wants anything new. Everybody keeps buying the same shit over and over in the gaming community. That's why we all got so many damn first-person shooters. That's why they're ruining sports games. That's why they're throwing in microtransactions. That's why that's why they started being greedy and everything nowadays, man. We've learned to accept that Sony is the king of video games. Well, Sony is the king of the video game world, when clearly there's other companies out there that can do stuff Sony can't even do. We got Nintendo, we got Xbox, we got PlayStation, we got PC, we got Steam. We've learned to accept the way they make movies nowadays. That we think that a good movie now is a terrible plot line, a bunch of cursing, terrible acting, just action, and corny, stupid ass motherfucking scenes. Of course, corny ass motherfucking comedy, man. And CGI bullshit, with movies. That's all it is with remakes. There's no innovation in movies anymore. There's no heart, soul. There's nobody who puts any time and effort into the movies anymore. It's all about money and a quick cash grab. It's all about remakes, man. We've learned to accept the music that comes out nowadays in this society. Clearly, there's some way better music out there that's worth listening to. We've learned to accept that Drake and Kanye West are like the fucking rappers of the 21st century. But clearly, there's way more. Eminem, Kevin Flom, Young Neff, and a bunch of other people that are like really good. We've learned to accept techno fucking music and techno fucking music, remixes on game music, and we've learned to, worship. We've learned to worship Hollywood. We've learned to, you know, we've learned to rely on Facebook for comfort, enjoyment, and friends. And clearly we just fucking go off into Facebook for Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat for a long time, man, and it would make things so much better. We learned to accept inferior TV shows like Two Broke Girls, Orange is the New Black, Sons of Anarchy, fucking Game of Thrones, and all that bullshit. When clearly there was a bunch of TV shows out back then that were like really good, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, Courage Cowardly Dog, Johnny Bravo, cartoons, Powerpuff Girls, Teen Titans, Samurai Jack, Robot Chicken, Naruto, and a bunch of other shit that was like really good back then. In gaming, graphics makes a game. Clearly doesn't. Gameplay and frame rate make a game. We've learned that in order to play a first-person shooter, you gotta camp everywhere, and you gotta shoot people. You gotta camp in order to get a kill. We've learned to accept all the bullshit that comes with first-person shooters, and people being able to pay to win to get an advantage over other people just to win in a video game. We've learned to we've completely forgotten the fact that a video game is supposed to be fun, enjoyable, not competitive, and not competitive but not too competitive, and it's not about stats or KD. It's about the enjoyment and relaxation of it. It's also not about it's also not about 1080p graphics, 60 frames per second. It's not about overpowered bullshit. It's about everybody having a good time, enjoying themselves, and it being balanced and worth playing. And I think Sledgehammer's taking World War II in a good direction with that. We learned to accept that iPhone is the better model over other phones. Clearly, it's not. Apple is copying shit. Apple's copying everybody's shit now, so now there's no point in getting a phone. That Samsung, the Pixel are way better. Yeah, man. And we learned to accept that 9/11, the 9/11 planes, 9/11 was hit by planes from Al Qaeda when clearly it was just a scheme by the government to get people to be all in shock. It was just a way to bring in the New World Order. We learned to accept, like I said, we learned to believe that Operation Geronimo happened, where the SEALs went in, they killed, when we learned to believe that Bin Laden was involved in the Twin Towers, when clearly he wasn't, so we went in and killed an innocent man in Iraq. We took the SEALs and went in and killed an innocent man. They staged all the attacks on Colorado, Sandy Hook, and the Boston bombing, and the Las Vegas massacre. Doesn't add up. And we learned to accept what we hear on the news as truth. Yeah, man, our society's fucked up. But yeah, we are entering the fifth age of Aquarius. Um, hope everybody's getting ready for the um, I hope everybody's getting ready for hopefully the return of the second coming. Uh, Nobody knows when that's gonna happen, but I have a feeling it might be coming sooner than we think because our world is turning to shit. Our society is completely money hungry, full of now it's just full of people care too much about technology. They care too much about technology over family and shit like that. You know, they don't care about people in their lives. They care about fucking Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. And they don't care about people and their friends. They totally forget their friends and family, and they just play on their fucking phones. You know, with they rely on social media for friends and support. They rely on people. They rely on pictures and bullshit as a form of telling them that they're good, that they feel good about themselves by posting pictures about their life. And clearly, that's not really what really goes on. And we rely too much on graphics in gaming. We rely too much on HD quality and bullshit like that in anything now. And yeah, that's ruined. I mean, our society is pretty fucked up, man. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Pretty soon they're gonna legalize gambling in sports, and I'm going to stop watching it because, you know, if they legalize it, then it's gonna be screwed over. It's gonna be dead. And yeah, man. So fucking fuck this shit, man. The only person I trust now is God. Really, the only person I trust now in this world is God and society. I don't trust society. I don't trust anything I hardly hear anymore or believe, because it's fucked up, man. The economy's fucked up. The drug industry's fucked up. The music industry's fucked up. The gaming industry's fucked up. The TV industry's fucked up. The movie industry's fucked up. All that is about money. All that is about greed. And it's just completely destroyed itself. It's a former shell of itself. Everything now. The government is fucked up. They become too sort out. They become too much about power and control. And Congress and the judicial branch and everything was never meant to be like this, man. When they signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776, it was never meant to be like this in our country, but they fucked it up, and here we are, man. So yeah, we're screwed, man. We're screwed unless people just start paying attention, man. People start paying attention. We're screwed. The only person that can save us now is God, and maybe hopefully God and yeah, man. The only person I trust now is God, and not anybody else. Don't put my faith in the government anymore. Don't put my faith in the news. Nope. We're screwed over, man. Time's gonna come when the time is coming where we're probably reaching the end times, man. And I hope that we are, because we really need it, man. We're reaching the time where we're in bad shape, man. And maybe by the time they try to take complete control of us, that'll be the time when the earth crumbles and everybody's thrown into the freaking pit of fire. And I hope so, because that will be the end of this shit. When finally the New World Order tries to take control of us, that won't happen. They won't win. They won't win. They're trying, man. They're trying, but they won't win. if they want to know, if they want a war on November 3rd, or the World War 3, November 3rd, I mean, bring it. I say bring it, because I'm not scared of you. If you want our guns, sure, fine. Come take them. I'll fuck you up. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, guys. This has been a whole. This has been my, this has been my ultimate rage rant. Well, okay, I wasn't really raging technically. Okay, so this has been the ultimate, um, the ultimate YouTube rant. I hope you enjoy. Yeah. Wake up, please, because we're in a bad time. We're in a bad time with the economy. We're in a bad time with the society, and we're in a bad time in general with everything. Every industry is greedy, money hungry, and they destroyed themselves. And everything that you love could be taken away in a second if you don't start paying attention. They they have call it they have Houston victims. Houston victims of Hurricane Harvey. They put them in FEMA camps. And they're not allowed to leave. They have armed guards there just standing in front of them. They're not allowed to leave. They take random strangers and they just take them to FEMA camps, man. Pick them up on the street. This shit is real. But yeah, man. I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed because I just got off of work. But yeah, man. This shit's real. You need to pay attention. And wake up, man. Anyway, guys. I'm done. This video. Um, uh, oh shit. I'm getting this video. Anyway, guys. Have a nice day and God bless. Peace. I'm out.